So
That's good.
how did you meet her?
Oh, she was my teacher. That's how I met her.
In her house? Is that when she was still teaching?
No, when she was teaching at SCC. And,
at where?
At Rancho Santiago College. Yeah, she was our teacher a couple of years ago. And Dan and I and her just got to be, my husband and I, we got to be very good friends. So, you know, and we've been friends for a number of years now.
So why did you take her class? Were you interested in developing a following in jewelry appraising?
Yeah, I was interested in jewelry. I was interested in antique and period jewelry, and Bill and Belinda Belisle had taken their class and told me how fabulous it was, and I had heard from everybody it was fabulous, and we took it and just kind of developed from there. Yeah.
So were you with her when her book got published? I imagine
no,
that was
before that. Yeah, I think it was in 02 or 02 was when the last book was published. We met her around 04, so it's been about, but we got very close these last years, you know. Yeah.
So I forget the guy's name, but have you seen the registry on her website? It has a registry of all the people.
Yeah.
There was this one gentleman, he said something very profound. He said not only was she the leader of her field.
She created the field.
That's right, she created them. Do you know who that was? Because that's
probably do. Go back and look at it.
That is such a fabulous quote.
It's the truth, you know. Yeah.
Because I remember her. I met her about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
She came to my office, and at the time, well, I never heard of her before. And then she started doing her classes, and then she wrote her book, and I think she created a revolution. I think because of the sort of thoroughness of that book, that I think she inspired a lot of other authors.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. You know, but I think until Christie, nobody kind of had it broken so easily to disseminate. You know, by decade, by period, and tying in so much. She tied in politics, history, fashion, and jewelry, and the materials all together. I don't think anybody had put it together this way, saying these materials. Because of this is what's happening historically, this is why platinum is here, this is the revolution as to what the history is behind this, you know, this is the fashion, so that you didn't just look at a piece of jewelry, you looked at the entire era, you know, and I don't think anybody had broken down like that, you know, before. There may have been jewelry history books, but not that covered the history, the fashion, what was happening politically at the moment, everything, and that's what she did, you know, I think. So yeah, there were other books that showed you this is a Victorian piece, this is this, but nothing that brought it all in, you know, and took you into the time period, you know.
Your name.
So I know that Diane White and Sherry Schatz were part of her
inner circle. Yeah.
Who else was part of Inner Circle?
There's a lot of people, but you know.
Well, I mean, the kind that would actually go with her. I mean, when she used to speak at my conference.
Right, yeah.
And when she was speaking, she had this little coterie that'd be with her. And I want to mention their names, and so I only know of Diane White and Sherry Schatz. Is there
You know what? I would ask Sherry Schatz that more than because there's a lot of people that keep track of that way. And Sherry's been with her far longer than I have.
You know, I didn't notice Sherry Schatz's entry in the logbook.
I think we're all, you know, I think we're a little raw right now still because it all happened very suddenly. Even though she had pancreatic cancer, she took such an enormous dive over 2 days. You know that I knew she had pancreatic cancer. I've been with her. I went to her house for every morning for 4 months. I mean, I knew, you know, and to help her, you know, but. Even she was doing really well for a long time, and then she had complications. And when the complications came up, it was like watching her car go over. It just happened so fast. So I think we're kind of hit really hard, you know. And I'm not able to enter something right now. I think about trying to write something or say something about Christie. It blows my mind. I don't even know what I can say. You know, she was such a dear friend to me outside of who she was. You know. So I think Sherry's in the same boat. I'm still a little raw right now. You know? So I'm sure Sherry will put something down, but I think Sherry was her best friend in a lot of ways. I mean, Christie had a lot of best friends, but you know, really Sherry and her were very close. And Sherry stayed with her the last week in the hospital. You know, every day. You know.
No, because I remember how. Did you go to her conference that she used to have?
At her house?
Well, no, she had a conference at the Griswolds, and then I think she had 2 of them at the LA County Fairgrounds.
No, I think this is earlier than like I said. I've only been with Christie for 5 years, you know. So
how did you meet her originally?
She was my teacher.
Oh,
at CC, yeah.
I see.
And then afterwards. we went to her house for a materials class, and then
Did Sherry's co-teach that class since it was materials?
the
Since that's
materials
her...
class Sherry did to co-teach. Actually, it's Sherry's book that is used for that class.
I figured it
And
was.
then we loved the area that she was in because we were looking for a house at the time. And so I started talking to Christie, and then Christie started to invite Dan and I to go listen to her speak with other places, and then go with her to auction. And I live 2 miles away now from her, you know. So we've just gotten to be really good friends, you know, over the last 5 years, you know.